Welcome back, friends. Let's add a divide method. Back to the form here, continuing our project. Take the multiply button, Control C and then Control V on it. So make a copy, paste it right next to the other ones. Right click on it, go to its properties, access those. All right. So again, by default, when you make a new copy of an object, it gets called button1 in the case of button. Let's make this into btn and then divide, and then scroll down and find the text property and change that so it says instead divide. That's done. So now double click on the divide button and bring in the code stub and editor. And the beautiful thing is we can reuse a lot of the code that we have made. So really, you should watch the previous videos, but I'm just going to take this essentially and just remake it, but make a little bit of a change. So var inputs. So we're going to use our process input method this way. The call process input that returns a tuple. Then we can access the members of the tuple. So we'll say if inputs that item 1. Now remember, that's a Boolean value in the tuple. When you put your mouse over inputs, remember the first quantity in that construct is a Boolean data type. So you can use it to make decisions, and you access it by typing inputs that item 1. So if that's true, but we have to have more than that because we don't divide by 0 usually. So not only does the conversion have to be successful, because our goal is to divide, go back to the form, we're going to divide by the second value in the second box. Here, you take whatever the first one is, and then you divide by the second one. So you have to make sure that the entry in this box here is not equal to 0. Otherwise, division is not defined. So we can do that by doing the following. And inputs that item 3 is not equal to, so exclamation mark equals not equal to 0. When you have both of those conditions, and then we can type the following LBL output dot text and then plus equals to append. Okay, dollar symbol for string interpolation, double quotes, and then each entry. So we'll say within the first curly braces, inputs that item 2. So stuff in the first box on the screen, which is item 2. And we're going to pretend, so brown, and then in this set of curly braces, divide by inputs that item 3 this way. Then actually carry out the division. So within a set of curly braces, we'll type inputs that item 2 divided by inputs that item 3. That carries out the actual division. And again, it has to be capitalized here with an I. And as before, in case there's an issue, just type something like else. Now in this case, we have to be a bit more refined with our output message. So LBL output dot text and then plus equals, okay, dollar symbol slash n. Same thing up here, put a slash n because we have to output on individual lines. So say here the following down below then. Incorrect input format or division by 0, because both can be problems when it comes to division. And the rest of this, remember, we're just using process input created previously. So let's run this. Start with our debugging, Control F5. Let it get loaded into memory. We're going to try this method, make sure it's working correctly. Here we are. Let's give it a shot. So first, just do something simple like 2 divided by 3 and hit divide. And it tells you the output. Hit divide repeatedly. Make sure everything's working, okay? Divide, for example, 2 by -4. So scroll down on the bottom, that's -0.5. That's correct. And now try to divide by 0, okay? And then go to the bottom and it says incorrect input format or division by 0. That's it. Not allowed. This is pretty much working. Terminate this. This is the code. Please be sure to leave a like.